You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit, HD2.
The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
My name is Watson.
And my name is Mariah.
We're 12 years old.
And we're representing Old Redford Academy Middle School. And we're here to talk about drugs. Drugs are very dangerous and unhealthy.
And they can also ruin a relationship with your loved ones. Go talk to a family member, a friend, even a teacher, or you can go to a therapist, or if you need any extra help, you can go online and find all of those.
Hashtag not worth it.
Good afternoon and welcome to Expose Under the Sun, sponsored by the Detroit Native Sun newspaper. I'm your host, Darwin Griffin, and today we are going to be talking about a subject that a lot of people are really not that familiar with, but we're hoping that they will be more familiar with, and that's talking more about the black cowboy. And today my special guest is a lady, her name is Nicole Scott, and she's going to be talking about a rodeo that's going to be coming up that's going to pretty much like focus on a lot of black cowboys and their impact that they've made on the nation. And a lot of people, don't realize that there were a lot of black cowboys, in our history. So that's one of the things that she'll be talking about, as well as talking about a event that they have coming up in Ypsilanti. That's going to be what's called the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. So again, her name is Nicole Scott, and she's going to be my phone interview today. But before we get started, our call-in numbers are area code 313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, and 313-868-4336. Our website is www.tv33whpr.com. And you are watching us live from the phenomenal cities of Detroit, Michigan, under the auspices of the Honorable Mayor Michael Duggan, as well as the fantastic city of Highland Park, Michigan, under the auspices of the Honorable Mayor Hubert Yap. And before we get started, I just wanted to say that here, let me see if this is my guest that may be calling in right now. So hang on one quick second. Hello, Nicole?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, we make provisions when we don't have some things to occur the way that we want to. And one of the things is, many of you know, when you're looking at things that happen in and around the Detroit area, we have to make some provisions. But now she is live from the
94.
Because I was trying to see where your location was going to be at. But she is trying to make certain that we make this interview a success. And I'm sure that we're going to have a great interview with her. My special guest today is a lady. Her name is Nicole Scott, and she's involved with the Midwest Invitational Rodeo that's coming up in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Nicole, welcome to Expose Under the Sun.
You know what? Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
I thought I remembered you you were on here with me once before, weren't you?
Yes, our very first year.
And I'm so disappointed that we don't get a chance to touch base, especially after all this with COVID and everything else. We don't get a chance to touch base again.
And I'm disappointed, but hopefully you'll make an opportunity to come out to the rodeo.
Well, it's interesting because I've got a couple of ladies here in the audience right now with me that are wanting and dying to get more information about where and when the rodeo is going to be held. But just to kind of go through a little preliminary, what is the Midwest Invitational Rodeo?
So you know what? I like the fact that you called it Midwest International Rodeo, but it is the
I'm sorry,
Invitational
invitational
Rodeo.
rodeo, right?
Yes, it is. It is the Invitational. What it is an African American rodeo, and we bring it here locally to Detroit. We have cowboys and cowboy girls that come in from all over the country, and they come to compete.
Now, when was your group started, and what is the
So
purpose of it?
we started this organization in 2017. I've been traveling. My family is the Bill Pickett Rodeo.
Okay.
So we've been doing the Bill Pickett Rodeo for about 30. We're going into our 39th year.
You say 39 years?
39 years, yes.
Wow.
African
Okay.
American rodeo that's been traveling
Okay.
throughout the country.
And primarily, how many people will be participating in the rodeo?
You know what?
And, in terms of like the number of men, women, children that will be participating?
So it actually varies. We give the cowboys and cowgirls an opportunity to call in. Last year we had about 76. This year we might have, I'm thinking somewhere around 45, 50. With the prices of gas, we have cowboys and cowgirls coming from all over the country, and that makes it a little bit difficult.
Okay. And what are some of the events that the
So
participants will be participating in?
Sure. So some of the events that we have steer wrestling, which is the event that Bill Pickett made famous.
You say steer
And
wrestling?
Steer wrestling.
Okay.
So what they do is they come out of the gate and they take off on a horse, and then they jump off and they wrestle the steer down.
Oh, okay. Now, is that something that you do?
No, sir. I wish no, sir.
So are there
I don't know
women
if
that are there
would
women that
actually
are
do
involved
that.
in that steer wrestling? I know you said Bill Pickett made it famous, but do women also engage in that?
You know what? No, it's a very difficult event because you need the, well, not that we couldn't, but it's the upper body strength that you use because you're actually wrestling a steer down,
Okay.
almost into, I'm not going to say into submission, but you're wrestling them down to the ground where you almost pick it up and flip it.
Okay. Okay. So what are some of the other events besides the steer wrestling?
So we definitely will have ladies barrel racing. We'll have ladies steer undecorating. We'll have bull riding and relay races.
So now when it comes to the bull riding, they're going to be timed on how long they stay on the bull's back, or?
Actually, yes. So they will be timed. So they'll mount the bull, and after 8 seconds, after they stay on for 8 seconds, then it's counted as a time that they'll compete with.
So 8 seconds is the qualifying.
8 seconds is the qualifying, sir.
Okay. In some of these events, are there any of these events that you participated in?
You know what? Actually, no, there's none of the events. I'm not going to tell you that I'm very seasoned, mature, and so I'm a little too old to be competing in them. But we do have a couple local cowgirls and Stacey Russell,
Okay.
that is a local Detroiter. But yeah, no, there
What's
won't
her
be
name
any that
again?
I'll be competing in.
What's her name again? You say she's local here in the Detroit area?
Yes, her name is Stacey Russell.
Stacey Russell?
Yes.
So a lot of the people that come can look forward to seeing her participate.
Yes, sir, they will.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you another question. I know this is off our beaten path, but if there was an event that you could or you would, if you were, let's say, a little younger, what would you want to compete in?
You know what? I just thought about this. I like ladies barrel racing.
Okay.
I'd like to be able. What the ladies do is they take out from the chute and they run in a cloverleaf pattern against the time, against the clock.
Okay.
So I would like to do that. And then there's another event called the Lady Steer Undecorating, where there's a piece of tape on the back of a steer, and you and the steer start running around the same time.
Okay.
And whoever snatches the tape off the back of the steer, and the quickest qualifying time, they win. So
Okay.
a matter of seconds.
So what are some of the prizes that some of the participants will receive?
So we are lucky and blessed. We have Shopra as a sponsor, and they will be giving the top cowboy and cowgirl one of their bags.
Okay.
They want to see how tough and sturdy that their bags are. And then we compete for prize money. So the purses.
So you have purses that could range from what to what?
You know what? In our rodeo, I put up $2,000 per event. And then the contestants, they enter. They pay a price to enter. And then that money goes to the pool. And then we divided the top four. The top 3 to 4 contestants win.
Okay. And you mentioned the sponsor. Who's the sponsor, or who are some of your sponsors?
Well, you know what? I'm so excited. I have Dukes and Dames. I have Shinola. I have the Skilled Trades Union. I have Scott
You say
Colbert.
the Skilled Trades or the Steel Trades Union?
The Skilled.
Skilled Trade Union?
Yes, I have them.
Do you know what that local number is?
You know, I don't believe there's local. I believe it's the whole skilled trade.
Okay.
So they came together
Okay.
as one unit and decided they would be a sponsor for us.
All right.
So they're also, not only are they being a sponsor, they're also looking for apprentice. And so they'll have tables out there to do some recruiting as well.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. That's good.
Yeah.
So
I have the Wayne County Sheriff Department as well.
okay, under the auspices of the Sheriff, Raphael Washington.
Yes, he'll be there. Yes, he'll definitely be there.
Good.
We're excited to have him because he's also sent his mounted patrol.
Okay.
So we'll have the Wayne County Mounted Patrol, and then we'll also have the city of Detroit. They're sending their mounted patrol as well, which I'm so excited about.
You know, and that's a nice thing, too, because it probably looks at a lot of aspiring persons that might want to join the Sheriff's Department or the Police Department to become mounted patrol persons.
Yes, sir. And we also, with our rodeo, we try to give people opportunities and we try to educate. We try to allow people to see things that they can aspire to be.
Okay.
We have, like, our ski club that'll be there. The Jim Dandy Ski Club has been around for over 60 years.
Right.
And then they do a tent, and they just, offer memberships or just expose people to, hey, we're here in the city. Come join us.
Gotcha. Okay. So since you mentioned, let's segue into what is the role that the black cowboys played in U.S. history?
You know what? They played such a, the word cowboy actually came from us. So we were the boys that were out in the field, and we were tending to the cattle. And so that's where the term cowboy came from. We also were part of the Pony Express, getting our mail from place to place.
Okay.
And we created several different events. We have Stagecoach Mary. And we actually do reenactment of these characters. So not only are you seeing the rodeo, but you're getting a little bit of history as well as seeing the rodeo.
Now, somebody had told me that the Lone Ranger, was he a black cowboy?
He was a black cowboy. The original Lone Ranger was a black cowboy. It wasn't. He did not look like us.
Okay. And his name was it Bass Reeves? Is that what his name was?
He was Bass Reeves. Yes.
Okay. You reminded me about when you did my show with me before. I kind of got an education from you when you were doing that before. But
yes,
it's always timely information. That's good. So why is it important to keep the legacy of the black cowboy alive?
You know what? If we don't continue, we'll lose it. Just like anything else, if we don't continue telling the story, if we don't continue to make people aware of some of our history, we'll lose it. It'll get lost in translation, or another story will be told. And also, too, I feel, we might have a little bit more pride, or we might have more pride if we knew from whence we came from.
Okay. And so primarily then, one question I know somebody had asked me to ask you too was, do you offer any horseback riding lessons for the public?
You know what? I actually talked to somebody today. There is a Magnolia Stable that's out of Howe, Michigan. It's a young lady that lived in Farmington for a while, and she found an opportunity out in Howe and bought up some property, and she does riding lessons. There's a young lady named Gloria that she does riding lessons. She actually taught my daughter how to ride, and she's at the Buffalo Soldier Stables.
Okay.
In Rouge Park, right off of Outer Drive.
Okay.
And then there's a couple other people, that are here locally that actually teach and train. And then I just found out from one of our cowgirls, Stacy Russell, she's inspiring to do some camps for our youth.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask you to give your information about the day, the time, and the location where you're going to be at.
So we'll be at the Wayne County Fairgrounds, and that's in Belleville.
Okay. At the Wayne County Fairgrounds in Belleville?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The address is 10871 Quirk, Quirk Road. So those of you who don't really know Belleville that well, it's actually Belleville Road, and it's diagonal from the Cracker Barrel.
Okay, so it's going to be on I'd say the north side of the expressway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
okay, by the Cracker Barrel restaurant.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And what's the times?
So the rodeo starts at 7, but we ask people to get there earlier because we have so many vendors there. We have, the 4-H that's a part, Farm Bureau that's a part. We have a mechanical bull. We actually start tailgating or pre-gaming, as we would say, about 3, 4 o'clock.
So you say about 3 or 4 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And if the public wanted to get tickets, where would they go about? How would they go about getting tickets for your event?
They can actually come to the rodeo. We definitely do the tickets there. We sell there. But in advance, they could go on Eventbrite and just search for Midwest Invitational. So
you say they could go on Eventbrite?
Yes.
And search Midwest Invitational?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so after somebody attends the rodeo, what message do you hope that the public will take away from attending the rodeo, or the lesson that they will learn from attending?
So there's 2 things that I want to take away. I would love our youth and everybody else to know that if you could see it, you could be it, and that you could dream. And then the second thing is I want them to want to come back because it's such a family experience. My family's out there to share, but it's almost like a family reunion. Back in the day when we used to all come together, and it's usually like a church picnic or a family reunion in a sense, or that's the feeling that I would want. Okay.
And so now kind of tell the message how you would really want, because a lot of times when we were, when I was younger, we played cowboys and Indians. And, everybody wanted to be the cowboy and then others wanted to be the Indian. But that wasn't something that the girls wanted to play. But what's the real interest, Nicole, in the women besides the events that they would take and looking at the women wanting to be involved in the rodeo or participate in the rodeo, alongside the events, but what really is the interest that girls would have about attending the rodeo?
You know what? They also could be cowboys and Indians as well, but they would be cowgirls. Okay. Also, the love for the animals. The cowgirls, they're amazing. They're strong, they're strength, they're beautiful. There's so much that could be taken just to come out and meet them. There's opportunities in veterinary. There's opportunities, in rodeo, horticultural. There's so many takeaways that all of us can get from it.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think that when you and I did the show before, my niece, Caitlin, she had thoughts about being a veterinarian scientist, and that's one of the things that she loved was just wanting to work with and heal animals, and she was thinking about that when it comes down to horses and seeing the birth actually of the colts, being brought into the world. But
I'm so glad that you shared that because Michigan State, is right up the corner, right around the corner, or right up the street from us.
Mm-hmm.
And, the university there. They have an amazing veterinarian school.
Okay.
And the 4-H will be there. Michigan State's 4-H extension program. And you know what? There's so many opportunities and scholarships for people that look like us to be able to continue their education for next to nothing.
So for the few people that don't know, what is the 4-H Club?
So the 4-H Club is an organization that teaches children or exposes them to things like planting, things like the environment and animals. And it's almost like a Boy Scout, Girl Scout,
mm-hmm.
but it's an organization where we bring both the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts together. And it's kind of a co-ed thing. It's not, Boy Scout or Girl Scout. We bring them together and they show animals. They teach them about animals. It's just it's a wonderful organization that, that we don't know a whole lot about.
Well, the good thing I like is that here you've got something that is a great opportunity for boys and girls to kind of come together along with their moms and dads and grandparents and aunts and uncles and everybody to have a good time, together. And, when I look and I see the, some of the invitationals on TV, and it's like, wow, this is very, very competitive, and
it is very competitive.
And when I look and I'm trying to, look to see the times and I see how excited, people get when they, win the events that they're involved in. Because what is probably, besides the steer wrestling, the Bronco, seeing them, get on the horse and do the, the Bronco. I think back to days when I was looking at with a Stony Burke, and and it's like just looking at the movie 8 Seconds that talked about the rodeo. And when I look at little things like that, it's like it looks very exciting when I see that. And when I hear you talking about that, what's some of the other things that you really would see in this rodeo that you would really want to tell the public how exciting this is going to be for them?
You know what? I think people get very excited about the bull riding,
okay.
But just seeing the speed that the people that that when they're on the back of an animal, the speed that they're doing, and then they're able to do something else, like when they're jumping off to do calf roping. That's they jump off the back of the animal of the horse to grab another animal, and then they have to tie it up for time.
And something that really kind of amazes me too is I look at the clowns.
Yes, he will be here.
Pardon me?
Yes, we will. We have this gentleman named Ron Hunter, who was a retired principal out of Oklahoma.
Okay.
And he tells a story, and he loves going out into the audience or going out into the field, and being able to educate and being able to just some good, clean laughter and fun, and him able to talk and touch and teach. We're going to the city of Royal Oak on Thursday. We're doing a book reading. Royal Oak is doing a Juneteenth celebration, and they asked us to come out and help kick it off.
Oh, great. So basically, give that information again. We've got a few minutes left. Give your information again. Give your contact, because is there a website that somebody can go on to get more information about the Invitational Rodeo?
Yes. First, I'd like to thank you. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to get there with everything going on here in the city with the flooding, but it's midwest.invitational.com.
Say it again.
You go on the website. It's midwest.invitational.com.
Midwest.invitational.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then it's also Eventbrite, and you can look up Midwest Invitational on Eventbrite, and you should post it too.
Okay. And then all the prices and the dates and the times of the events, all this is going to be on the website?
It will be on the website, and we do try to keep it as close to a movie ticket as possible.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun for a whole lot of people.
So my other quick question I wanted to ask you too before I let you go, Nicole, is that is it going to be a lot of hands-on type things for, for the young people or for the adults that they can get involved with? I mean, they're going to be able to pet the horses or, get cowboys to autograph the pictures and, things like that, or they're going to be able to buy some of the items there, like maybe cowboy hats and
we will
some
have
other things?
We will have all of that. We'll have cowboy hats. I don't really know how much petting we're going to do just because of, sometimes the animals can be a little bit snappy, but we will have some that they can pet, that they can see, possibly take pictures of. We were trying to get a few animals, like kind of doing a petting zoo, but right now with COVID and different things that are happening, we didn't want to expose, the animal or the public to that. But we're working on some things. Like I said, 4-H will be there, Farm Bureau will be there, and they'll have all kind of great activities for you to do.
So for some of us that are still a little concerned about COVID, do you have some COVID protocols that are going to be in place for the rodeo?
Of course, we have COVID protocol. We definitely will have the hand washing stations. We'll, you're however comfortable you are, wear a mask. Please wear a mask. We'll have. Everything will be clean. Everything we will be constantly cleaning and taking care of things and using all kind of COVID protocols.
Okay. And I guess my last quick question I want to ask you before I let you give your contact information one last time is that what got you involved with the cowboy and the rodeo?
You know what? It was the lack of knowledge. Growing up, I'm originally out from the Inkster area. And
you say Inkster? Inkster, Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So being from that area, you know what? A lot of Black history we didn't know. We talked a lot about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, and not that it wasn't, those are wonderful people, phenomenal people that we should talk about. And then we talked about slavery. But there was nothing about a Bassery. There was nothing about Juneteenth. There was nothing about, anything that, there's so much more to us. There were so many more things that we should be prideful of. I love the fact that we sing the Negro National Anthem. Mm-hmm. It's just every year we try to make it bigger and better. And I guess that's what got me involved. I've traveled, throughout the country, going to different rodeos, and I've also attended several rodeos. But this one here in our city, we had to make a little bit different. We wanted to create opportunity. We wanted to allow our vendors, our people from our community to be able to vend, to give them a platform where they can show their goods. Just come together, basically.
Okay. And we're wrapping up now, but just give the last time before we wrap up, give that contact information again, where you're going to be at again, the address?
Sure. We will be at the Wayne County Fairgrounds. That's in Belleville, off of 94, off of Belleville Road. The address is 10871 Quirk.
Quirk, right? Quirk?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the website is midwest.invitational.com.
Midwest.invitational.com.
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Well, it has been a pleasure. Hope next year that when you do this again, we'll be able to go and have this interview in person. But
next year, I'll be sitting right beside you.
I would definitely look forward to it.
Boots and your cowboy shirt.
I will definitely look forward to it. Well, again, you would be remiss if you do not attend the rodeo, the Midwest Invitational Rodeo. Give the dates again.
June 10th and 11th.
June 10th and 11th. No excuse. Definitely make sure that you be there. And you get an opportunity to go and you meet Nicole Scott in person. But again, thank you, Nicole, for being my special guest on the show today. And if you'd like to get a copy of the Detroit Native Sun newspaper, who sponsors our show, you can contact Ms. Valerie Lockhart at area code 313-457-5944. Again, thank you, Nicole. I definitely want you to stay safe and be safe out there in this traffic. And again, I know that this is going to be a very successful venture for you and for everybody else involved in the rodeo.
The Native Sun will be out there. You guys will have a booth out there.
Great. So you can get a chance to meet not only Nicole Scott, but also to meet Valerie Lockhart as well. So again, thank you for tuning in to Expose Under the Sun.